Hello, this is Matt Hawken for EDL 850. This is the case study, Internet Use Violations. Just to start off, some of the things that I know. I know that Roosevelt High School is in a very affluent area of a large city. It is located in an area where families have secure financial means. I know that Dr. Forbes, which I will refer to as me from now on, is a respected and experienced principal. He tried to recommend the most highly qualified teachers to teach in his school. I know that a website has been created that is threatening a member of my staff. I also know that Ms. Walker is extremely concerned and offended over this web page, which I think is completely understandable. Anybody in that situation will probably feel that same way. So as I look at it, some of the things that I need to know, I need to know if the district technologist can locate where the email originated. This can give us the facts as to who to talk to regarding the website. I need to know who sent the email and why the web page was created. Was this because of an isolated incident, or were there malicious feelings building up over a period of time? I think that the email and the website are just a symptom of the root of the problem, which is communication issues and management issues between Ms. Walker and her students. The third thing that I need to know is I need to know the district policy regarding this type of situation. Even though it might not have specific information for this specific situation, there might be some guidelines for me to follow. I don't want to get in there and try to reinvent the wheel for something that might have happened already before, and the district has a policy in place already. So I think I'd save myself a lot of stress and headache if I look at the district policy regarding this type of situation. So based on the information I have and what I need, the problem is that there is a malicious web page on the internet regarding a staff member, and there is a lack of communication between students, parents, and Ms. Walker. Again, I think the web page is again a symptom of the root of the issue, which is communication issues between the teacher, students, and parents. So, my plan of action with appropriate strategies for implementation. First of all, I need to collect all the information that I have. This includes talking to Randy Franks and having a very blunt conversation with him. But before I meet with Randy, I need to contact the district technologist to make sure that he can be ready to track the email and web page in case Randy doesn't confess. So I need to do that before I talk with Randy. When I talk with Randy, I will implement the strategies of first actively listening to him and his side of the story. Second, giving him the option to come clean and be honest with me. And last, I will let him know that we will be tracking where the web page and email have originated. If he denies everything, I will give the district technologist the go-ahead to track down the web page. So I'm not going to track down the web page before I talk to Randy. I want to talk to Randy first and give him the opportunity to confess before I go forward. This next step includes talking with Ms. Walker about her communication issues. I mean, there's obviously issues going on in her classroom that need to be addressed. This might not be an easy conversation, but it needs to occur. I would like her to have a mentor within the building, possibly a well-seasoned teacher who has established a good rapport with parents and students. This teacher can assist Ms. Walker with her communication issues, the amount of homework she assigns, and classroom management. These strategies of implementation are first coordinating the meeting with Ms. Walker and speaking with her. Second, setting up the mentor program with her and a well-seasoned teacher. And third, following up with them and assessing whether progress is made. And I don't think this would really offend Ms. Walker because she's a newer teacher. She needs to have a mentor in place to make sure that she gets everything done correctly. It's a big part of being a teacher is having a mentor to help you through. The next step in my plan of action includes my third step in my plan of action includes talking with the district and referring to the handbook to know if there are certain discipline procedures that need to take place when we find out who created the website. There might be some district and legal procedures that are already set forth for this type of situation. But if not, I will determine what punishments need to take place after talking with everyone involved. The three strategies for implementation for this step include clear communication to the district, analyzing the situation to determine a punishment, and referring to the handbook and following directions. The next step in my plan of action, which is my last step, will be to ensure that I talk to the parents of the student who created the website, and this is assuming that a student did it. The parents need to know what the child has done and what needs to be what we need to do from here on out so that this type of situation does not happen again. Again, it all boils down to communication. The school will also be reminded of the implication of these types of issues, whether it be during the daily announcements or in a certain class. Students need to know that this type of situation will not be tolerated. The strategies for this step are, again, clear communication, which I think is the basis for this whole situation, repeating guidelines to help students remember what is and what is not appropriate, and trusting parents to include them in this process. So, as I'm going through my resolution, obviously we want to think of what is best for all students. My resolution promotes the success of all students because it is rooted in communication with students in the building. Whether it was talking with Randy Franks or by talking with the student body over the intercom, there is no doubt that direct student communication has taken place. Clear communication will help all students become successful. My resolution promotes the success of all students by giving their teacher, Ms. Walker, a mentor, which will help her become a more effective educator. An effective educator will help promote the success of all students, in her classroom. My resolution promotes the success of all students because it includes me referring to the district on certain issues that I might not know about. Students deserve a leader who is well informed and will not go outside of the district parameters when handling a sensitive issue such as this. Education leaders need to know where their boundaries are, and district guidelines do cover a lot. So we need to be well versed in those policies, or at least be able to refer to them before we go forth with punishments and handling certain issues. It just makes sense to do it that way. So debriefing the problem, what was I thinking? I was thinking about handling the issue in a sensitive manner, in a way where everyone felt respected. There are many different people to include in the situation, and I want everyone to feel like they were dealt with in a dignified manner. Second, I was thinking about many of the students in the school that have Ms. Walker. By getting her a mentor, they will have a more qualified teacher. Last, I was thinking about my own professionalism throughout the entire procedure. From talking with students to handing out a punishment, this all needs to be done in a professional manner. The next thing, I was feeling mixed emotions during the entire process. I was feeling frustrated for Ms. Walker, trying to put myself in her shoes and realizing how devastating it would be to discover a website demeaning your character. I was also feeling bold while talking with Randy Franks and trying to get to the bottom of the situation. Last, I felt anxious as we found out the owner of the computer that created the malicious webpage. So, obviously at different steps in the procedure, you're going to be feeling and acting in different ways. But you need to the one thing that needs to be constant is the professionalism when dealing with all aspects of the situation. What was I valuing? I was valuing the feelings of others by giving them a chance to voice their opinions. Active listening allowed others, whether it be Randy Franks, his parents, or Ms. Walker, to have their voices heard and valued by their administrator. I was valuing Ms. Walker's professionalism by tracking down the person who created the website. And finally, I was valuing the entire school by reviewing the rules and procedures and implications regarding electronics in the school. So some of the unresolved issues or issues open to further investigation that I was thinking about was, if this was Randy Franks who created the website, where did he create it? Was it at home or was it on school grounds? And if it was on school grounds, we really need to go over with the staff, the professionalism and what's allowed and what isn't allowed within their classrooms, or things that they see in the halls. Second thing, what is causing the disruption of Ms. Walker's classroom? Is it her teaching style or an unruly classroom? What is affecting that communication between her and her students and parents? Third, should the rules regarding electronics and internet within the school be changed? Does this situation need to change the policy of the school as to what's allowed with internet usage and electronics in the school? Maybe that's something that needs to be visited. So, regarding the standards, I demonstrated a sense of integrity and ethical behavior by talking with Randy Franks and letting him explain his situation and not beginning by blaming him of anything. This builds rapport and is in an ethical way of treating students. Second, I demonstrated a sense of integrity and ethical behavior by assigning a mentor to Ms. Walker. This is ethical because it doesn't demean her in any way, and I am not simply telling her to improve, but giving her the means whereby she can improve. And third, I demonstrated a sense of integrity and ethical behavior by actively listening to others' concerns. Standard component 2, I acted with fairness by talking with everyone personally about the issue. Giving them a chance to tell their side of the issue is evidence that fairness played a big role in resolving this issue. I treated people in an equitable manner by tracking down the computer that created the web page, or by getting a confession from Randy Franks. This allows me to hold accountable the person or persons who caused the issue and not the entire school as a whole, which would be unfair. I acted with fairness by contacting the district regarding this situation. It would be unfair of me to just go with my gut when handling this sensitive situation. The school deserves a fair leader who will contact his or her authorities if there are already procedures in place regarding this type of situation. I demonstrated a personal and professional code of ethics by talking with students as well as parents regarding the situation. Involving everyone sets the tone of professionalism. Talking with the whole school about the implications of violating the school policy requires a code of professionalism as well. And talking with Randy Franks before getting the technology specialist involved showed that I was practicing a personal and professional code of ethics, because it gave Randy the opportunity to confess before blaming him for the situation. So it's a pretty complicated issue and a very sensitive one, and I think school administrators just need to know they need to know how to act in any situation. Every situation is different, but it's so important that we go and try to find the root of the problem. Many times the situations that we have are just symptoms of the problem. We need to find out what is causing that issue. And here I think it was clear communication, classroom management. Those are both things that needed to be handled to get rid of symptoms and terrible things that happen, such as this. So I really enjoyed this case study, and I appreciate you listening. Thanks.